This new moon in Aquarius is particularly chaotic, intense, but also exciting, and it's really not at all bad. It just looks like we are randomly making a pretty major decision which may surprise the other people in our lives. So if you're excited to see what the astrology has to say for this new moon in Aquarius, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Hi, if you're new here, I am Maren. I am a Western astrologer using the tropical zodiac. I also make music, so you can stream that down below, and if you want a private reading from me, those are also available in the description. First, we'll get into the overall alignment for this new moon, then we will go sign by sign to discuss how it is showing up for you in your life. So this is happening on February 9th, 2024 at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I just double checked that because like 3 p.m. exactly is suspicious, but no, it's literally happening at exactly 3 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time on February 9th, with the sun and the moon at 20 degrees of Aquarius. So Aquarius is a fixed air sign. It is the concentration of ideas, of discussion, and of intellectual kind of banter and throwing ideas around. And it's also ruled by Saturn, which is a planet of seriousness, of responsibility, and of maturity. So this isn't a particularly nerdy, informative, logical sign. This is not an emotional new beginning. And with Saturn in Aquarius, I like to think of it differently than I do Saturn ruling Capricorn, because Saturn rules two signs, Capricorn and Aquarius. So with Capricorn, it's an earth sign, it's feminine, and I like to think of Saturn as top-down boundaries of like keeping things in, protecting, maintaining, staying safe. Versus with Aquarius, I like to think of Saturn's rulership as bottom-up boundaries for building upon things, for making a statement that can then grow further, and for kind of founding a structure that is then the prerequisite or the standard for other people to then innovate on top of. So it's a lot more open-minded and imaginative. It's not a Saturn energy that is, I would say, like fear-based or containment-based. And this is happening at 20 degrees, which means it is in the third decan of Aquarius, or the third of the sign. And the decans provide texture and detail that are kind of cool to look at for specific events like this. I don't look at it in natal readings that much, but for new moons and full moons, I do like to see what decan it's in. And this decan is known as the Lord of Futility, and it's associated with the Seven of Swords tarot card. This part of the sky usually shows that you are leaving the existing situation. You're like, fuck it, I'm out. This is futile. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go do my own thing and completely like peace out from this. This card and this area of the sky usually come up when you're conflicted about staying and investing in something, or like just getting the fuck out and completely leaving. And with this new moon, as we get into, I think you are completely getting the fuck up and leaving to start something very random and very new. This new moon is squaring Uranus within 1 degree, and Uranus is a planet of volatility, of disruption, and of chaos. It's not bad though necessarily. However, a square is a challenging aspect, and the closer the square, the more challenging. So it does look like there is a shock factor that we are ready to leave something, and therefore what we start in response is aggravated, it's aggressive, and we're trying to make a statement to surprise people. So do not be surprised if your surprise is taken rather poorly or just is abrasive to others. You might also be watching others have similar energy of abrasively starting something that does not land well to anyone but themselves. But it's not necessarily bad. There's no hard aspects to Mars here, which would show the definite, challenge or conflict, which it doesn't really say. I would say it looks like a random idea, but one that comes from a pretty strategic plan. Mercury and Pluto will be together in Aquarius. So Mercury is communication, and in Aquarius, it reconfirms and adds even more of that architect, logical, informative, planning out a larger strategy energy. And Pluto is a planet of intensity, of manipulation, of playing chess, of depths and psychological, really it's psychological intensity. It's a planet of, manipulation and paranoia as well, but there can also just be focus and intensity. So the way that we're communicating is very, very intense, very precise, and very forward. There's a lot of mic drop kind of energy about this, where we're doing something big, bold, and we have very specific, very intense words to say about it. Venus and Mars will also be together in Capricorn. And with Venus and Mars in Capricorn, that is the long game. So like I said, Saturn ruling Aquarius is more bottom up of building things that others can then build upon. Versus in Capricorn, Saturn is much more top down of of refining, protecting, and keeping things safe with that structure. So with Venus and Mars in Capricorn, it shows that we have a big mouth and a big plan, but our actual actions are very restrained, contained, and tactical. Venus in Capricorn likes to keep things close to the chest and really only protect what is essentially valuable. And Mars in Capricorn is all about the slow, steady climb to the top, where each step on the ladder is very well thought out and very precise. So we're talking up a big game and we're serious about it. Like we are, behind what we're saying, but the actual plans are a little bit more humble and a little bit more conservative, little by little getting places. The other thing that's not really part of this new moon specifically, but is relevant for the energy, is that the North Node will be on Chiron. The North Node emphasizes whatever it touches, and Chiron is an asteroid of vulnerability, of feeling like you're kind of an imposter, but embracing it, or of overcoming something that's triggering and making it a strength. Chiron is both challenging and heroic at the same time. Generally, it is a good overall energy to work through rather than stay in. So with Chiron on the North Node, there's a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of huge vulnerability, and a lot of gutsy decision making, with feeling like we aren't good enough or we aren't there yet and taking the plunge anyway. So I think this is something that we've been wary about. We're ready to take the plunge, jump off, but it's going to shock other people. And it's this random event that fits into a larger structure that we have thought well about. Let me know below if you have any thoughts or comments about this new moon specifically. I would love to hear them as we get into what it means for you based on your rising sign. So make sure that you know your rising sign. If you're not sure why this is based on rising sign and not sun signs for horoscopes, you can check out my video linked below for why you're probably reading your horoscope wrong and you need to be reading based on rising signs. But let's go ahead and start with Aries rising. This is in your 11th house of friends and groups. So you could be suddenly joining a group of people or suddenly deciding to apply for an acceptance into something fairly random and gutsy. If you are a Pisces rising, this will be in your 12th house of mental health, spirituality, addictions, or private inner world. Frankly, this could be showing that you're suddenly deciding to do something that is rather random and poor for your mental health, such as using something or doing something that is whoa. It could also show something like going on a plant medicine ceremony where it is a little bit scary and shocking, but it's for your better good. So it looks like you're making a spiritual or mental health related gutsy decision. If you are an Aquarius rising yourself, this is in your first house of self. You and your identity, you're putting something out into the world that is shocking and random, but very, very authentic. And you're ready to go for it and ready to put something out there. If you are a Capricorn rising, this is in our second house of money or income. We're likely making a decision to make money in a new way that's fairly gutsy, sudden, or a little bit risky. If you are a Sagittarius rising, this is in your third house of routine, content, writing, communication, or day-to-day tasks that you have to do. So you could be starting something like posting content in a certain way, or you could be deciding to do something along your daily routine that is going to be random, but very helpful for hacking your day. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is in your fourth house of home or family. So you could be moving to somewhere kind of random and severe. You could also be starting something with your family that's a little bit chaotic. If you are a Libra rising, this is in your fifth house of dating or creativity. Looks like a new sudden romantic relationship or a new sudden creative project is coming out of you. If you are a Virgo rising, this is in your sixth house of physical health or day-to-day coworkers and people that you see at work daily, employees. So either you're starting something new for a health protocol or diet, fitness, exercise that's kind of out there, or there's something new starting with the people that work for you or around you that is erratic. If you are a Leo rising, this is in your seventh house of committed relationships. Looks like a very sudden whirlwind relationship is forming where it's very serious, but kind of out of nowhere. This does not have to be romantic. It could be, romantic, could be legal, could be a best friend. If you are a Cancer rising, this is in your eighth house of finances and investing or the occult. More than likely for most of you, it's going to be something related to complicated money in your life. Either you are beginning to save, invest, or put money towards something that's a little bit more complicated in your life financially. It's not direct income, or it could be something new with your magical or witchcraft practice. If you're a Gemini rising, this is in your ninth house of foreign travel or higher education. Looks like you are going on a random long distance trip, or you are suddenly starting to go to school for something. If you are a Taurus rising, this is in your 10th house of career. So this is cool. Looks like you you are randomly starting something new for your career, like a job or a task or a position. Now let's pull a tarot card to see what the energy is for this new moon. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. So frankly, this does usually show that instead of building something up, they're like building a cathedral upright. When it's reversed, something has been knocked down and you are facing adversity and having to take the next step from it. So this is probably a response to a plan not working out and your decision to suddenly pivot. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Please let me know down below how your new moon is going and what you're expecting from it, because it is, yeah, shocking and erratic, but not necessarily bad. Always love some drama, or maybe not in personal life, but like astrologically, sure, why not? So yeah, let me know down below and I will see you in the next one.